Hey, what's going on, beer lovers? Welcome to another episode. Today we are in downtown Portland visiting Breakside Brewing. So if you want to check it out with us, stay tuned. Hey beer lovers, welcome to another episode. I'm Jeff.
I'm Mia.
And today we're in Portland again, and we're at Breakside Brewing. This is a brewery I actually visited a couple years ago when I came to town to visit my parents, but a lot has changed with this place. They have a big name now, a beautiful facility, and we're gonna check it out today. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's have some beer. Alright guys, so we have our beer, but before we get started, I want to give you a brief history lesson on Breakside Brewing. This brewery started back in 2010. They had a brewery at another location doing about 30,000 barrels a year. Since then, they've opened 2 more locations, one of which we're at now, and this place is absolutely beautiful. They've ramped up their production nearly double the amount, so super impressive. A lot of success over the last few years. I've had their beer before. I don't think I've had anything that we're trying today though, so that's really exciting for me. Now, let's get into the beer. First up, I have a beer called HE Double Hockey Stick. This is a Hell's Lager sitting at 5.4%. Honestly, I just like starting light and refreshing. I'm hoping this is gonna hit it on the head. It is a little weird though because it's raining outside and it's pretty chilly, so I don't know how beer's gonna work out, but you know, maybe after I'm done with this flight I'll be nice and toasty. So first beer down, cheers. It's beautiful. It's just a great combination of like slightly sweet, but still you get that nice crisp dry finish. The malts really play well with the yeast in this one. It is very clear what style of beer you're drinking. As far as Hell's Lagers go, I would say this hits the nail on the head. I mean, it is true to style. There's nothing abnormal about it. It's just a nice, clean, crisp, refreshing lager. This is a great way to start the day. But this glass is cold, so I'm gonna put it down.
All right, so to start me off, in now this very sprinkly rain, cozy Portland weather that we're having, from one second to the next, you never know where you're gonna get. But what I do have in front of me is Rainbows and Unicorns, and this is a session IPA coming in at 5.1. So, pretty clear. Looks light. Again, a good way to start off a long day. Has a sweet, fruity aroma.
I have low electric, and Julie does this low electric, but she has basketball things that she gets through faster than I do. Yeah. Yes.
It's very bright. It's light. Has a little bit of hop and some malt. It's a good balance. It's not. I wouldn't say it's just all citrus. It's also some of your other citrusy flavors, maybe like a peach or a nectarine kind of vibe in there. just a little bit of tartness. It's good. So I think the name is pretty fitting. It's kind of like light and bright and colorful, if you will, in your mouth. So, all right, first one is a good one.
The next beer up is called Fresh Hop Sterling Pils. This is a Pilsner with Sterling hops, 5.4%. I've probably had Sterling hops a couple times ever. So for me, I've been really into these like fresh hop Pilsners, fresh hop lagers, those lighter malt profiles that allow the hops to really be the star. It's kind of been my jam of recent. So this really stood out to me, especially because I'm not super familiar with Sterling hops. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig in. So here we go. Cheers. Ooh. You know, the first sip I didn't get too much of it. I felt like as soon as it hit my palate, the finish was like that nice clean dry finish. You know, because it's a Pilsner, that's what happens. And so I didn't really get a chance to get the flavor, but after the second sip, you get this beautiful like floral flavor. You get a little bit of like, I don't know if it's like tropical melon, bubblegummy, that kind of jam, like a fruit chew, like the zebra stripe gum. That's kind of what it tastes like, but it's very, very subtle, which I'm okay with because this is a Pilsner first and foremost. If they just like dry hop the shit out of this, I mean, could you really call it a Pilsner anymore? I will say there's a little bit of that like leafy, like hop pellet flavor up front, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm just picking that up a little bit. But yeah, the longer it sits on my palate, the more I'm getting those hop flavors. This is one where I kind of wish it would warm up a little bit, or maybe I'm just going to let it warm up in my hand, try a little bit more later, because I feel like the hop flavors are going to come out a lot more if this beer was a little bit warmer.
Okay, so my next beer is a IPA, another little session IPA. It's actually called a summer IPA, and it is called Small Guy, because I'm a small guy, I'm just a little guy. And this is coming in at 5 even. And this is another very clear, bright one to have, so let's get it going. Woo! It's a little guy, but this little guy's gonna punch you in the mouth a little bit. Wow, that's bright. And it's very citrusy. It's like a lemon, but it's not gonna make you like pucker, but it's not super sweet. It's a good in between, and then it's a little hoppy at the end. Ooh, this is another light, great one. All right, 2 for 2 for Mia. Let's keep it going.
Well guys, 'tis the season. We're in October, and this beer is called US Oktoberfest. They call this a California coastal lager, so it's not like a Marzen or anything like that, but it is sitting at 5.6%, and this was brewed in collaboration with a brewery that I'm very fond of, Figueroa Mountain Brewing. I got really into that brewery because my friend Kevin did their photography for a while. He's now at Sierra Nevada, so what's up, Kevin? Anyways, I've been enjoying a lot of Oktoberfest beers recently, so I'm hoping this will fit in with the rest of them. Cheers. Oh. This is beautiful. It's got just a very subtle like honey sweetness to it. It's not like a ton where you feel like you're drinking wort or anything, but it's there and it's really enjoyable. But I think my favorite part about this beer in particular is as soon as it touches your tongue, you get like just the carbonation just kicks in, and it's like it's just popping off on your mouth, and it's like a flavor explosion. And then as soon as you start to like really get all that flavor, it just finishes nice and clean and dry. It makes me want to just, I could literally, well, obviously this is only like 2 ounces. I could chug a whole glass of this quite easily. And it's just fun. It's a fun beer. I don't know if I would classify as an Oktoberfest beer, so I'm just gonna say forget the name. This is just like it's in the lager family to me. I would assume so. And it doesn't say. Oh yeah, U.S. Coastal Lager. Yes, it's definitely more just like a coastal lager with some beautiful malts, and then just that carbonation just hits it just right. I really like this one.
All right. Number 3 for me is Quick Lunch. I'm just gonna have a quick lunch, guys. It's a vanilla stout, and this one is coming in at 5.7. So it's not as dark as maybe some of the other stouts I've had personally, but it's just a quick lunch. It's not like a heavy lunch. So, ooh, good vanilla notes on the top. You get like that warm kind of chocolatey flavor too. So let's stop talking about it. Let's start drinking. Wow, that's lovely. It's, if you want a lighter stout, kind of on a cold day, you want to warm up, feel that cozy stout weather, but you don't want something super heavy. This is good. It's sweet, has a little bit of effervescence in it, and you get that softness of that chocolate going through it too. All right, I can't wait to see what else they have. This is going well. This is a good date so far with Breakside.
All right, so the next beer up for me is an interesting one. This is called 5 Flavors. It's a farmhouse ale that's finished with lager yeast, 6%, and it was brewed in collaboration with Upright Brewing right here in Portland. To be honest with you, I saw farmhouse ale, thought of Jacob, figured he would want me to try this, and so here we are. And good Lord, is it windy all of a sudden. So we're gonna go ahead and try it now. So here we go, cheers. Ooh, that's fun. Interesting. The aroma has a little bit of like spiciness with like a slight amount of funkiness, and then when you dig into the beer itself, you get like this nice fruit flavor. You get apricot, you get a little bit of pear, and it tickles your tongue a little bit, a lot like the U.S. Oktoberfest that I had, or whatever it was. Was it U.S. Oktoberfest? No. But it tickles your tongue a little bit. I would say that this maybe isn't my favorite, but I will say that that doesn't mean that it's not a great beer. I think for those of you who do like a little bit of funk in your beer, you'd actually enjoy this quite a bit. So, yeah, tasty.
Okay, next beer for me is Fresh Hop Mosaic Bio Transformers, if that's not a mouthful. It is a hazy pale ale coming in at 6.3, so your girl's going up the ABV ladder right now. I'm loving the hazy. It's weird to be here and have like that SoCal mindset when it comes to a hazy, with like sunshine and hanging out at the beach, or just, you know, being by the pool or something with your friends. When you're drinking a hazy of anything, as it's very overcast here. But I am ready to see what this has to offer. Cheers. Ooh, tropical on the nose. A lot of like mango. A lot of mango and a little bit of citrus. This smells lovely, so I can't wait to see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that has some hops to it for sure. For not being an IPA, for being a pale ale, it's bringing the hop game pretty nicely. So also, again, the lace. Are they doing something in Portland that we don't know about with this whole lacing on these beers? It's great. It's fun.
What I really like,
But just like everything that I smelled on the nose before I dove in, I'm definitely getting that in the body of it, and then it just hits you with that hoppiness, that bitterness at the end. So if you like that, you're gonna like this. I feel like this might take your palate for a little bit of a ride if you had a full pour of it. But I feel like I'm back home, but also in a city that I love. So it's a good marriage right now. Cheers.
All right, guys, it's time to hit up the IPAs. This is called Starstruck IPA. It was brewed in collaboration with Ecliptic Brewing, which is one of the breweries we're going to check out here. It's 6.7%, and you know, it's got a little dark tinge to it, which I haven't seen that in a while, so let's dig in. Whoa. There's a lot of fun flavors going on in here. It's super piney, but then it's got tropical fruit, it's got coconut. This is fun. It tastes very true to like West Coast style, but it also kind of brings something new to the table. Man, it is like, I can taste the pine needles. It's sitting on the back of my palate. This is one of those IPAs where I would go to a party with a 6-pack of this and drink the thing all night. Wow, just fantastic flavor. This might be my top of the day. I haven't tried Mia's yet, but this one's pretty damn good.
Okay, next one is called Fresh Hop IGA. The G stands for golden, which the color, and it is a double IPA coming in at 8.1. All right, hi truck. I'm trying to review right now. Oh, it's super danky. Danktastic on the nose. Trying to be like Jeff and John with the fun phrases. The taste is interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it's hitting me right. I'm not sure what to think of this one, honestly. The only flavor that stands out to me is like the harder part of a pineapple. That's kind of all I'm getting. The smell was super fun. The body, not my favorite. But that's alright, because I still have one more coming up.
Alright guys, I'm down to my last beer, and of course, it's time to enter hazy territory. This beer is called What Rough Beast. It is an East Coast, New England style IPA at 7%. Obviously, I wanted to do a hazy while we were here. How could I not? And as soon as I saw the name What Rough Beast, I don't know why, but it immediately made me think of the movie Role Models with the Minotaur truck. If you guys have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why, What Rough Beast. I mean, cool name. Hopefully it's a cool beer. Cheers. Definitely a lot of like dank tropical notes on the nose. A lot of like candied pineapple, overripe pineapple. Let's dig in. Oh yeah. If you're a fan of Galaxy hops, I'm willing to bet you that this is like almost all Galaxy, if not all Galaxy. Oh god. Oh, I love it. This is what I love about hazy IPAs. It's just dank, it's tropical, it's juicy, and it's just got that sweet, delicious, tropical candied fruit. It sits on your palate a while. You get a little bit of bitterness that sticks around for a while, but it's not overdone. It's super sessionable for 7% too. I mean, I'm not having a hard time drinking this. I'm loving it. Damn. Ooh, the decision of my favorite beer is gonna be tough.
Okay, my final beer is a light one, coming in at 4.4. It's a Guava Lime Sparkler, which is a sour ale that they have. So it's slightly cloudy, just slightly, but still pretty light colored. Very light on the nose, not too much going on. But you're getting a little bit of that sour feel. So let's go for it. That is bright, light, and tart. Yeah, that's just like a good summertime drink. It's just a little bit fruity, and then you have that lime, essentially. And it's not super puckery, I wouldn't say that. But if you're just hanging out, you're tanning all day, you're chilling with friends, this is it. This is almost like a woo girl drink.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, this is fun. I'm into it. Let's go woo around. Woo!
All right, guys, so me and I have finished trying all the beers. We actually moved inside because it is freezing outside.
It's my fault.
The wind, the rain, everything, it just keeps changing. That's Portland. It is what it is. But anyways, we're gonna tell you which beers our favorites were. So I'll go ahead and start this time.
Please.
We had a lot of good beers here at Breakside. I enjoyed almost all of them. A couple of the standouts, actually on Mia's end, that stout that she had was really tasty. When it comes to stouts, you know, especially when it comes to adjuncts in stouts, I feel like in California they kind of overdo it a bit. But here it wasn't like that. It was just beautiful vanilla. When it came to the Hazy IPA game, that What Rough Beast was just beautiful. I mean, dank, pineapple-y, just huge tropical juice bomb in my mouth. It was fantastic. But I had one standout beer, something that, you know, definitely is one of those ones where you leave a brewery and you're like, damn, I don't think I've ever had anything that tastes like that, and I absolutely loved it. And that beer is going to be the Starstruck IPA. The cool thing is that this beer is actually brewed in collaboration with Ecliptic, and we're going there during our trip. So you guys are gonna see a brewery episode there, and they have a beer called Starburst, which is kind of inspired off, you know, like they're kind of the same family. So I'm really stoked. This beer is fantastic. It's just, there's like pininess, there's tropical, there's juicy, it's just everything. It's all over the place, but it works. It works really, really well. And it's been a long time since I've seen an IPA that's a little bit on the darker side and it actually tastes good. So that's a win for me. What about you, Mia?
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of finish off on what he was saying, it is a really fun beer. It has a lot of different kind of juicy, fun flavors. It's a little bit of an amusement park, if you will. So I totally understand why he chose that one. I actually chose the first beer that I drank, and I think that's what I did yesterday. I think I chose my favorite as my first one too. So Rainbows and Unicorn was mine.
Just a color comparison
color
there.
comparison there, but both pretty clear. I like that mine was light and sessionable, but it still brought the flavor for me. When I was, you know, looking at what I had and remembering what I tasted, I thought, what do I want to drink a full pour of, and what could I not feel regretful for at the end of it? Meaning, can I walk? Is my palate wrecked? Like those like questions that I ask myself.
I do as well. And the nice thing is at this brewery, there's not really any huge ABV beers. The biggest one was that fresh IGA at 8.1%.
Yeah.
So you're not drinking a bunch of imperial IPAs or imperial stouts or anything like that. They're usually in like the 5 to 6%ers. So
they're very welcoming
yeah.
beers, which reflects this city. I was talking to Jeff about it off camera, and I just feel like these beers aren't as aggressive as what we're used to in these styles.
Yeah.
Like back home, like he was saying, they like to really go for it and throw all the flavors into it, which can be great if you do it right. But also, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. You could be really mellow and kind of pull back with it so that you can enjoy more of it.
Yes.
And have a good time. So I think that's what I'm getting so far at these first couple breweries that we're like taking our time to explore and reflect on. So yeah, the Rainbows and Unicorns is mine, keeping it queer. All right, so yeah, those were our favorites. We're gonna dive into this fun little hummus and olives plate that we got.
I wonder if I can hold it up without spilling it. There you go, guys. Bam! We're about to dig into this. So we're gonna finish our beers, eat all this, and then we'll see you guys for the outro.
Catch you out there.
Well, guys, that's going to do it here at Breakside Brewing. And of course, ironically enough, the sun comes out, it's shining, and there's no wind as soon as we leave.
God bless.
Yeah. Well, regardless of the weather, the beers were fantastic here. This is definitely a brewery I would recommend if you are visiting Portland. I honestly believe that you will not be disappointed. This was wonderful.
Yeah, such a great experience. People here are really cool, laid back. Beers are great. Just a wonderful time. Great way to start our day off.
Definitely. Now, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Gives us a lot of exposure, and it gives us more incentive to travel to places like this and make more episodes like this one.
Right on.
So, until next time, I'm Jeff.
I'm Mia.
And we'll see you again on Let's Have Some Beer. Cheers. Today we are at Cascade Brewing Company. We're at their tasting room in Southeast Portland, and we're gonna try some of their beers.